linen,
Hey
and the
everybody,
sockets
it's
of the
Megan on
pillars
the
were of brass.
scenes. We're gonna be
The
doing
hooks of
some
the
winter
pillars
jump
and their
roping
fillets
today.
of silver,
Apples.
and the
Y'all
overlaying of
just
their
grab your jump
chapiters of
ropes and
silver,
join me, okay?
and all the pillars of the court were filleted with silver. And the hanging for the gate of the court was needlework of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, and 20 cubits was the length, and the height in the breadth was 5 cubits, answerable to the hangings of the court. And their pillars were 4,
I want
and their
this
sockets of brass
on
4,
Embedded, everybody.
their hooks of silver, and the overlaying of their chapiters and their
They
fillets
delivered it to
of
my door.
silver.
Alright, so
And all the pins of the tabernacle and of the court round about were of brass. This is the sum of the tabernacle, even of the tabernacle of testimony, as it was counted according to the commandment of Moses for the service of the Levites, by the hand of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. And with him was Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver, and a cunning workman, and an embroiderer, and purple, and in scarlet, and fine linen. All the gold that was occupied for the work and all the work of the holy place, even the gold of the offering, after the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver of them that were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents, and 1,750 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. A bekah of every man, that is half a shekel, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for every one that went to the ministry from 20 years old and upward, for 600,000 and 3,550 men. But of the holy place, because the sockets of the sanctuary, and the sockets of the gate, of the 1,775 shekels, the offering was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. And therewith he made the sockets to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the brazen altar, and the brazen grate for it, and all the vessels of the altar, and the sockets of the cord round about, and the sockets of the cord gate, and all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the cord round about. Exodus chapter 39. They made a roof of earth and scarlet. They made the fronts of the service, the 2 sides of the holy place. They made the holy garments for Aaron, and for Moses. And they made the ephod of gold, blue and purple and scarlet, and fine twined linen. They played the wires to work it in the blue, and in the purple, and in the scarlet, and in the fine linen, with cunning work. They made shoulder pieces for it, to couple it together by the 2 edges of the pole together. And the curious girdle of the ephod that was upon it was of the same, according to the workman, of gold, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they wrought onyx stones, clothed in ouches of gold, graven as signets are graven, with the names of the children of Israel. And he put them on the shoulders of the ephod, that they should be stones for a memorial to the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the breastplate of cunning work, like the work of the ephod, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. It was 4 square. They made the breastplate double. A span was the length thereof, and a span the breadth thereof, being doubled. And they set in it 4 rows of stones. The first row was the sardius, the topaz, the carnelian, was the first row. The second row, the emerald, the sapphire, and the third row was the pure, agate, and jasper. And the fourth row, a beryl, and onyx, and jasper. They were enclosed in ouches of gold in their enclosings. And the stones were according to the names of the children of Israel, 12, according to their names, like the engravings of the same, every one with his name rings unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue. They might be above the glorious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not be loose from the ephod, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the robe of the ephod of woven wool, all of blue. And there was a hole in the midst of the robe, as the hole of a habergeon, with a band round about the hole, that it should not rend. And they made upon the hems of the robe pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet and twined linen. They made bells put the bells between the pomegranates and the head of the robe round about the pomegranates. Bell and pomegranate, bell and a pomegranate round about the hem of the robe. And a mitre of fine linen, and goodly bonnets of fine linen, and linen breeches of fine twined linen, and a girdle of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet, and needle, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it, like radiance of silver. That was all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation.
I'm getting my workout
finished.
in today,
And
y'all.
the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So did they. And they brought the tabernacle unto Moses, the tent, all his furniture, his dashes, his boards, his bars, and his pillars, the covering of brass, the stand, the covering of branches, the veil of the covering, the ark of the testimony, the staves thereof, and the mercy seat, the table, and all the vessels thereof, and the showbread, the pure candlestick with the lamps thereof, with the lamps to be set in order, and all the vessels thereof, and the water, and the gold, and the sweet incense, and the hanging over the tabernacle door, the brazen altar, with great brass staves, and all the vessels, the laver and his foot, the hangings of the front, his pillars and his sockets, and the hanging for the court gate, his cords and his pins, and all the vessels of the service of the tabernacle, for the tent of the congregation. The cloths of service to do service in the holy place, and the holy garments for Aaron the priest and his sons' garments, to minister in the priest's office. According to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation. And thou shalt set the laver between the tent of the congregation and the altar, and shalt put water therein. And thou shalt set up the court round about, and hang up the hanging at the court gate. And thou shalt take the anointing oil, and anoint the tabernacle, and all that is therein, and shalt hallow it, and all the vessels thereof. And it shall be holy. And thou shalt anoint the altar of the burnt offering, and all his vessels, and sanctify the altar. And it shall be an altar most holy. And thou shalt anoint the laver and his foot, and sanctify it. And thou shalt bring Aaron and his sons unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. brought the ark into the tabernacle and set up the veil of the covering and covered the ark of the testimony, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the table in the tent of the congregation on the side of the tabernacle also, without the veil. And he set the bread in coals of fire, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the candlestick in the tent of the congregation over against the table on the side of the tabernacle southward. And he lighted the lamps before the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the golden altar in the tent of the congregation before the veil, and he burned sweet incense there, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he set up the hanging in the door of the tabernacle, and he put the altar of burnt offering in the door of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation, and offered the body of burnt offering. And put water there to wash withal. And Moses and Aaron and his sons washed their hands and their feet thereat when they went into the tent of the congregation, and when they came near unto the altar, they washed, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he reared up the court round about the tabernacle and the altar, and set up the hanging of the court gate. So Moses finished the work. Then a cloud covered the tent of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And Moses was not able to enter into the tent of the congregation, because the cloud abode thereof, and the glory of the Lord. And when the cloud the children of Israel went onward in all their journeys. But if the cloud were not taken up, then they journeyed not till the day that was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was upon the tabernacle by day, and fire was on it by night, in the sight of all the house, throughout all their journeys. The third book of Moses, called Leviticus, chapter 1. And the Lord called unto Moses, and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd, and of the flock. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him.
Just how it jumped
And he shall
on the
kill the
y'all.
bullock before the Lord, and the priests, Aaron's sons, shall bring the blood, and sprinkle the blood round about upon the altar by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall flay the burnt offering, and cut it into his pieces. And the sons of Aaron, the priest, shall put fire upon the altar, and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall lay the parts, the head, and the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. But the inwards and the legs shall be washed in water, and the priest shall burn all upon the altar to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire. And his offering of the ox, namely of the sheep, or of the goats, for a burnt sacrifice, he shall bring it a male without blemish. And he shall kill it on the side of the altar northward before the Lord. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall sprinkle his blood round about upon the altar. And he shall cut it into his pieces with his head and his fat, and the priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. But he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all, and burn it upon the altar. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the burnt sacrifice was offered young pigeons. The priest shall bring it unto the altar, and wring off its head, and burn it on the altar. upon the altar, on the wood that is upon the fire. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. Leviticus chapter 2. And when any will offer a meat offering unto the Lord, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil upon it, and frankincense thereon. And he shall bring it to Aaron's sons, the priests. And he shall take there out his handful of the flour thereof, and of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it upon the altar, to be an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the remnant of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of the Lord made by fire.
Alright, y'all.
And if thou bring an
Everybody,
oblation of a meat offering
get your
baken in
jumper
the
ups and
oven,
come join me.
it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baken in a pan, it shall be fine flour unleavened. Thou shalt part it in pieces, and pour oil thereon, it is a meat offering. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baken in a fine flour, it shall be made. On the fire. It is an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And if his offering for a sacrifice of peace offering unto the Lord be of the flock, male or female, he shall offer it without blemish. If he offer a lamb for his offering, then shall he offer it before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron's sons shall sprinkle the blood thereof round about upon the altar. And he shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat thereof, and the whole rump. It shall he take off hard by the backbone, and the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul of the liver, with the kidneys. It shall he take away. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar. It is the food
like and
of the
subscribe to my
offering
channel,
made by
y'all.
fire unto the Lord.
But
And if his offering
I'm
be a
tired
goat,
now, y'all.
then he shall
I
offer
love
it
y'all.
before the Lord.
And
He
I'll
shall
see
lay
y'all
his
later.
hand upon the head of it, and kill it
Bye,
before the tabernacle
everybody.
of the congregation.